Alright, this is it. Don't get scared. It's the final chapter of our Let's Rank Marvel series. These are the top 5 greatest Marvel films according to World Class Bullshitters. So without any further ado, let's get right into the list. Number 5, The Avengers. For 4 years we were teased with the possibility of the biggest team-up in comic book movie history. And then, one day, it happened. And it was amazing. I don't think I'm over-exaggerating when I say that Avengers was the film that changed the way movies are made. For better, or for worse. I remember going to my local AMC that morning to take part in the Phase 1 MCU marathon. And I remember walking out feeling that the entire world had changed. There was just something magical about the experience. It was good triumphing over evil, Marvel becoming a juggernaut, and comic book fans winning on every level possible. The film itself was great. It was fun, action-packed, well-acted, well-made, and for me, the best theater-going experience I've ever had. Lines of dialogue were lost in laughter. There was cheering, gasping, and every other conceivable type of appropriate emotion going on in that theater. The only negative thing I have to say about it is its success. That success spawned the shared universe craze that's ruining movies today. Not everything needs to be a franchise or part of a bigger picture, but the Avengers started it and perfected it. Number 4, Iron Man. The film that started the MCU is arguably still one of the best. Iron Man came out in the post-Spider-Man era, where it was all about Batman, but still managed to be one of, if not the best film of 2008. I liked Iron Man more than I liked The Dark Knight back then, and I still do. Iron Man resurrected Robert Downey Jr.'s career and brought him into the mainstream once again. Besides the production being a good redemption story for Robert Downey Jr., the film is a fantastic story about a man who seeks redemption from all the evil he's caused in the face of death. Even 8 years later, Iron Man still looks incredible. The CGI hasn't really aged at all, which helps the film stay relevant. I think it's safe to say that if this film wasn't a hit, there would be no MCU, and we owe a lot to Iron Man. Number 3, Captain America, The Winter Soldier. 2014 gave us what many consider the best MCU film to date. I would listen to any argument on why The Winter Soldier is the best comic book movie ever. But for this list, it's number 3. And in my opinion, it's of equal quality as the number 1 and 2 films. The Winter Soldier is a film that caught me by surprise. I don't recall seeing any trailers or commercials for this movie at all, but I remember the moment I saw the film and the immediate high I was on when leaving the theater. What can I say that hasn't been said already? This film brought a level of realism to the genre that surpasses The Dark Knight, while still retaining the level of fun from the previous MCU films. The relationship between Cap and Falcon is established in this film, and I found it to be the strongest friendship in the MCU. Yeah, Bucky and Steve are essentially family, but that's a whole different level. Black Widow gets her time to shine here too. She's a character that's not too interesting on her own, but in a smaller ensemble-driven piece, she is fantastic. I won't ruin any of the twists in case you're one of the 5 people who hasn't seen this movie, but I strongly demand that you go out and watch it as soon as possible. Because at this point, you're doing yourself a disservice. Number 2, Spider-Man 2. Up until this year, this was my favorite superhero film. Anytime you'd ask me, Spider-Man 2 is the answer. I don't think Spider-Man will ever be done as well as he was in this film. Every aspect of his character was perfectly portrayed. The guilt of Uncle Ben's death, the sense of responsibility to protect those around him by rejecting Mary Jane's advances, and the deceit to retain his friendship with Harry. Spider-Man 2 does drama perfectly. Some would argue that the MJ stuff drags out too long, but that just builds to the payoff. The moment when she learns that Peter is Spider-Man is fantastic. Besides the dramatic elements, the action in Spider-Man 2 tops every other solo superhero outing ever. The train scene is one of the most action-packed scenes ever put to film. It showcases how fun Spider-Man can be while simultaneously presenting us with him at his most desperate. The first time I ever saw this film, I was on pins and needles. Was he going to stop that train? Of course he was, or there wouldn't be a sequel. But those thoughts weren't running through my head, but they had been during the Avengers. Spider-Man 2 should be seen as the best Spider-Man film because it gets everything about the character correct. The supporting cast is fantastic, the pathos is there, and the costume is amazing. I don't give a shit about organic web shooters. That's just a stupid fanboy complaint that holds no water. Why do you believe he can climb walls and have precognition but not shoot webs? Kinda nitpicky, huh? Number 1, Captain America Civil War. By process of elimination, nothing else could be left. But this movie is fantastic and deserves the number 1 spot. Just when you thought Marvel couldn't do any better than The Winter Soldier, they pull out this gem and give us the best Marvel and comic book movie ever made. The best part is, the villain won. Zemo was able to tear apart the Avengers in a way that Loki and Ultron could never do. People love to bitch that Marvel has weak villains. But what they're actually saying is, there's no Heath Ledger Joker anywhere to be seen so that we can mimic, dress up, and bastardize the character. Outside of that, this film features all the heavy hitters of the MCU, minus Thor, and the Hulk. And it introduces us to Black Panther and a new iteration of Spider-Man. Many call Tom Holland the best Spider-Man, but it's too early to say that. You've seen 15 minutes of a mostly CGI Spider-Man swinging around. Was he fun? You goddamn right he was. But it's too early to claim he was the best because you need to see him carry an entire film before making an honest assessment. Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. do a fantastic job carrying this film, and the rest of the cast brings their A-game as well. The only character I found unlikable was Rhodey, but that's just the whole Don Cheadle bias I have. This film serves as a sequel to The Winter Soldier while setting up the MCU for the big changes coming in Phase 3. Civil War is a fantastic movie that showcases everything we love about comic book movies, and it absolutely wipes the floor with Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad. Alright, so that's it. The end of Day 5. We ranked every Marvel film ever made. I guarantee that no one else has these films in the exact same order as we do, but that doesn't mean you have to hate us. What you need to do is make sure to comment down below and tell us how you would have ranked the Marvel movies. If you feel so inclined, rank all 45 and tell me why I'm an asshole for putting Civil War at number 1. Also, if you wouldn't mind, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel because we put out great pop culture goodness every week. Finally, head on over to incarnate-studios.com. Christmas season is upon us, and you know what? You guys need a gift. So why not pick up something and simultaneously help our channel out? We got t-shirts, posters, all kinds of goodies. So head on over there, check it out, tell us what you think, and we'll be back this Thursday night with more world-class bullshitters. Thanks for sticking with us through all 5 days, and have a good one.